can I just start by saying I think I'm like, I know we think I'm a vibesmith and everything, but I'm also like hypersensitive to vibes.
I know. I live with you.
I'm hypersensitive to vibes.
I
And
understand.
if the vibe's not right, I feel like barely anything is appropriate to do.
Yeah, you set a high bar for things.
Yeah, but I don't know. It might not be helping me. I'm realizing.
I think it helps you a lot. I think where you need help is sometimes when the vibe's not where you want it to be, you feel disempowered when you should feel actually empowered to be like, I'm a vibesmith, that this is not good, and I can help
Yeah.
transition into a better vibe, and I can help get Cass into her voice, and I can help move it towards a place where it's like, we know what we're doing and we know how to do it, rather than it doesn't need to be a fight between us, because I agree with you, you know?
Yeah. The vibes are important.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you got to learn something from Mike Tyson. You got to dance with the tiger.
Oh, I feel like I do.
Yeah,
I
no.
feel like I do.
Yeah,
Definitely. Like,
I know, and sometimes you're like, I don't feel like dancing. I'm going to go lie down in bed and turn off all the lights.
well, it's just like I can't do it. Like, I can't. There's certain things, it's like, when the vibe's right, I could do infinitely. And when it's not, it feels like the most heavy lifting ever. Like, I don't know how people go to work in environments where the vibes are off.
Where they have like bad coworkers who are just nasty or
not friendly,
Not friendly.
or like turned off or tuned out, or like the lights are fucked up, or it's like it's loud, or like there's some aspect of them getting to work that really drains them. Like whoa, I don't know how people do it. Because like my work is worthless if the vibes that were like are surrounding it weren't right. So it's what's made me have to become a vibesmith in a way.
Well, I think your work is making a good vibe. And
Yeah.
I think our work together is, I throw off the vibe and you get upset, and then we bring it back, and then you almost had, it's almost like by you getting upset, it makes me have to raise my vibe high enough that I can pull you out. It's like kind of the dance we do. So I'm not even going to judge the dance. I don't need you to
Yeah.
do anything different. You can, when the vibe goes, you can go into a dark cave and mourn the loss of the vibe, and I can say, no, Sean, I'll make a better vibe. No, please, I'll make a better vibe, I promise. And then when I finally articulate a vision for a better vibe that you can get down with, then we can move on. It's fine. It can be like that. We'll do that.
Well, I feel like I feel like the main thing, the main part of our dynamic is us working together through thick and thin to get stuff done in a world where the vibes are fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you and I, like, against like just what can feel like terrible vibes sometimes coming our way, and we persevere.
We try to stay cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's the church of chill.
Yeah.
It's a sacred thing. These vibes remaining chill, because I can feel it now that I'm older. I have words for all of this stuff, but like I can feel when the cortisol is being released. I can feel when I'm going into the fear part of my brain. I can feel fight or flight, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't know how quickly, like once like the Tide Pod of stress chemicals goes off in you, there's probably just a certain amount of time that it's going to be there, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's why you see me just like get on my computer and start doing other things. Because I'm like,
well,
all right, you're working through your stress pod.
Yeah, no, stress tabs. It's what makes me know. It's what makes me know enough. Like at first, I think I can fight it out. Like we think we can. You think you might be able to help me. I think I might be able to help me by us just like knocking heads. But then I'm like, I know better. I know that like I just need to slink off and like forget that anything exists. Weirdly, that's what I was just doing when you came in there. You know, we went to do this podcast and then the vibe was off. So I was like, but it takes some time. And I was so mad. I was so like, I was so worked up. And then I basically just laid there until like you go into a meditation, and the best meditations are just like, where was I just now? How much time went by? But I like went into one to where like you knocked on the door, like it all like kind of like I was like, oh yeah, I'm dealing with something right now. Like I'm back here to deal with something, and now Cass is gonna try to help me deal with this thing. And I think it just like those chemicals just needed to be like.
I should have given you more time. Sometimes I give you so much time, and you're like, you're not gonna come check on me.
No. I think
you're just gonna let me sulk in there.
That's
and I'm like,
that's old days. I'm not really like that anymore. I don't think. I hope not. Like I know better now. I know to take a walk or be quiet or just meditate and kind of just like let the chemicals wear off, and that maybe they'll get arisen again. Like we live in a very crazy environment, and they get set off without me wanting them to a lot. But yeah. It's me doing the work. I'm trying. I'm doing my best.
For me, what I learned. Are we doing a podcast now? Are you recording?
Yeah.
Or are we just talking?
Fuck it.
I don't know.
People can hear this. I don't care.
I don't know where or how we're going to get into this, or you're going to start the podcast, but.
I don't know when it started, but it's, as always, it's just me going out on a limb.
Well, I'll just say what helped me. I can't talk to what helps you. Like, the biggest thing that's helped me in our relationship is like we used to like knock heads and then go our separate ways, and then I would just spend my separate way
Googling how to not
no. Like reinforcing my case and my position.
Yeah.
And like thinking about how you're a jerk and you're a mess and you're an asshole and all these like mean stories,
Yeah.
And then I realized, because then I'd come back to you and then we'd have to fight it. And then ultimately, I think the way you move on together is like there's like a bit of compromise where you see each other's stories.
Yeah.
But if you're holding tight onto your story, you're never going to get another person fully on your story.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. So you kind of, that's ultimately the pathway I found that I had to go, is like I had to surrender my story. So I figured out that it's easier to surrender my story if I don't spend the time that we're apart reinforcing my story and being attached to my version of reality.
No,
and like
it's really astute.
creating a fortress of like, this is how it is. Because that's like, who cares? I don't even know how it is. And I like that knowing how it is.
Who cares helps. It helps kind of get out of that loop because it's such a well-worn path.
Yeah.
Because like
I just want to get out. If the easiest way out is like, I'm sorry.
Well, we're just like a good example of like we're so energetically entwined, but I think everyone is. But like when we get into it and then go our separate ways, and you're reinforcing your story, or I am, we're exporting our shame in the form of blame, and the other person is feeling it, and so like even our time apart isn't like that's not energy well spent. We're just playing volleyball with the same thing. But, it's just blame and shame going back and forth. And I think one of us, like, through some sort of practice or some sort of anything, needs to just, like, catch the ball and be like, I'm not trying to score a point on you. Why would I try? Who cares?
I don't care.
That's really good. Who cares?
Yeah. And I think it's a weird thing because you do want to like, you're like, well, why did you do that? And I'm like, I can't tell you why I did it because if I tell you why I did it, you're going to think I'm defending myself and I don't even care.
Yeah. Well, the weird part of it, like me loving you so much is what makes me care. Because the only reason all this gets arisen is because it's just like, it's a scarcity mindset when it comes to time. And I'm like, why are we wasting our fucking time? What, like we're not doing the best thing with our time. And I'm scarce with that. And it's making me scared. And it's making me hypercritical and judgmental. And it's starting the blame and shame volleyball game. And it's all a fucking joke.
Well, the biggest joke
but it is based on something very real, and it's my love for you, and I want us to use our time together to not be dopes.
I know, but the biggest, the best part of the joke is that your attachment to us spending our time well together and there being a good vibe and like being judgmental of the time that it wasn't a great vibe is then you spend all this time judging the last vibe instead of enjoying or building
what could be
the new vibe.
Yeah. Yeah.
the better vibe
Yeah.
that is available,
Mm-hmm.
especially with me, because I'm fucking pretty chill.
You're very chill. You move on. Like it's your ability to stay cool is like in a weird way not helped me grow up.
I don't know about that.
Well, because you are able to kind of neutralize so much of my energy, and you're able to absorb like anything I've ever thrown at you so gracefully.
I don't know about that
No,
either. I literally
no.
punched. I literally punched something earlier.
Yeah, but you're not hurting me or anyone else.
I just like to break stuff.
Yeah,
break stuff.
Yeah, you get fucking total Fred Durst activation. You get Woodstock '99 gets going in your soul.
Yeah.
And for me, I get much more like Altamont, you know.
What does that mean?
Just more like just dark Hell's Angels creeping around, you know, just dark, not right. Like, you know, you're like Woodstock '99, like fucking goddamn it, you know, like at your worst. I'm like at my worst, I'm Altamont of 1969 Rolling Stones.
Oh, you'll just like, I'll just like, let's burn this shit down, and you're like,
I'm like Mick Jagger performing through the fucking people getting killed.
No,
Yeah.
I don't know. You might be a dark heart Hell's Angels being like, it's dark here, and you're telling everyone it's dark. It's dark now.
I'm that shot of like one of the best shots in any documentary I've ever seen was from Gimme Shelter, when it's like really like bad acid trip, like middle of the night, not enough, like just everything's going wrong, and Mick Jagger's performing, and they just zoom in on this Hell's Angels guy that's on stage, and he's like losing his shit. He's just like fucking, ugh. And they just hang on this guy, and it's just like, wow, that's me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's me. But it's like, yeah, it's just really dark and desolate. It can get really crazy in there.
I'm really smart. I feel like I'm smart in the way of like, I know how to get good at something, and then I'll just get good at it. But
you got good at me.
No, but I'm like, by example of our last little tiff, it just like, to me, it takes too much time to get you to come back, that I'm like, God, I'm so good at stuff that like, this is really Sean's problem, not mine.
Yeah, no, it totally is. Totally.
I'm like, if I knew how to get him out of this thing,
no, but
you've
gotten so good at dealing with me that I
have to deal with yourself.
Well, yeah, but I've become a better person. You've gotten so good at dealing with me that those tiffs are like they're annoying and they're loud, but they're like so far and few between. I feel like I'm able to stay pretty calm. You don't even understand how frequently those could be happening. And the like me ruling with an iron fist type of energy, and it's just like our relationship really just didn't go in that direction, and I'm glad, and I hope you don't think it has.
No, yeah.
You know, you grew up in a household where your parents never fought.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, but then they just got divorced suddenly.
Which is also cool.
Is it? You like that?
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
No, for the way it worked out.
Yeah,
because,
like it's almost
whatever.
better. Like,
but wouldn't that break your heart if it happened to us? Come on.
Yeah, of course it would break my heart, but if we were to separate, it would be because it wasn't working anymore.
Yeah, right.
And I think that the reason we didn't get married and haven't gotten married and don't plan on getting married is because if it's not working anymore, we're not gonna fucking hold each other like down.
Yeah, totally.
It's like, go fly.
Yeah,
go
totally.
do whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, we were at a wedding this weekend with like your best friend that he's been your best friend since you're 2 years old.
She's been my best friend. I thought you said he. It sounded like a he. Yeah.
And now she has 2 kids, and like her kids are like 6 and 3. And the 6-year-old straight up is just like, how come you guys aren't married and have kids? I know. I'm like, oh, it's actually a good question, little fellow. Like, I'm like, well, I want her to be free to, it's actually more romantic. And then I'm like, well, what do you think?
Should we get married?
Like, should we get married? And he's just like, I don't know. And he just walks off. And I'm like, damn, this kid had me tangled up a few times with shit like that. He hit me with some questions that I was like, whoa. I was like, damn, kids are such a handful. Because just when they're getting to that age where you think they're not a handful, all of a sudden they're aware of everything. He saw me take a hit off this thing, and he goes, did you smoke? And I said, no. And he goes, what did I just see you do? I said, oh, that. Well, you know me. That's my asthma inhaler. And he goes, what's an asthma inhaler? And I'm like, I'm so deep in the woods with this kid. All of a sudden, I'm lying. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. They're like, just at the age where you're like, all right, he can walk. He's aware. He's focused on you now. Damn, that was like, this kid had his eye on me. He had his hooks in me the whole time I was around him. He was controlling me. It's crazy. You know,
you're too easily controlled.
I'm not cut out for this. Like, because I'm just a chill guy. But it was good. It was good. We went to your childhood best friend's little sister's wedding.
Yeah.
Out in Minneapolis.
Great time.
Really great time. Like really perfect excuse to go to one of our favorite places. We really love it out there.
I've told you forever. I'm like, Minneapolis is cool. Like, I'd live out there.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we should move. I'm just saying it's nice to visit a place and be like, I would live here.
Yeah. But even unselfishly, having nothing to do with us, like, aren't you so happy for them that they live there?
Totally.
Like that they like now are making real roots out there.
I
and
love
like,
a liberal city.
Yeah. Well, and that's where like Theo and Max are going to grow up. Like that. Like they're so lucky.
Yeah, knowing 2 languages and just everything.
Yeah, they're so lucky, and it's like it's such a cool place, and like that. I don't know if we would have thought to go to unless we were like summoned by an event. And it's weird because I think we normally, like you've said on here, we have a policy of just saying no to weddings. It's just not our scene, and it's like very like time consuming.
We don't believe in the institution, but I'm the first one to be bawling my eyes out when the people are saying their vows.
No, I just think it's like sometimes it like requires a lot of travel and time and money that we're like, this isn't how we want to spend our time with you. You know, like we're better than this. Like, come on, we'll do something together at some point. But we were kind of both like, why did we just blindly say yes to this one? You know, like we were just like, and then just given the way that the whole weekend played out, I was like, this is one of the best times of my life. Like, we just had such a good time.
Well, it was a really good excuse to finally make our pilgrimage to Paisley Park. Prince's, what is that? Everything? Prince's everything?
Yeah, Prince's, I don't
now
complex.
Museum.
Yeah, it's a museum now, but
former living, working studio complex.
Yeah. One of the best things we've ever done.
I didn't like we got like not the shortest tour. I got the middle length tour.
Yeah,
but there
2-hour VIP.
Yeah, there's a longer tour, but I was like, I'll kill my mom with 3 hours of Prince.
Yeah.
And it's also pretty pricey.
Yeah.
And
we would have paid though if your mom wasn't there.
But now I'm like, all right, we're gonna have to go back.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have to do more of a Prince deep dive to like earn.
That's true.
The more amount of money, but I will say when I was in there, I was like, I don't want to leave. There's no way this is enough time.
3 hours wouldn't have felt like enough either, though. I think we would have been left feeling the same way.
I couldn't believe how much I enjoyed being there in what feels like a Midwest corporate office complex kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, could be, it looks like a
It's
Amazon warehouse from the outside, or like
it's frozen in time. When they built that place, it probably architecturally it was like so ahead of its time. I'm sure.
I don't know.
You don't think so?
No, I think they just like used local builders that are also building other, concrete structures.
Yeah.
They probably saved a lot of money by not caring about the landscaping that much, or having windows to the outside, or integrating nature into it at all. It took me a second to get like accustomed to the fact that we were like so not in nature.
Well, you're also like you're driving like well, first of all, we get up and I had to because for travel purposes, like make us a smaller bottle of acid to bring with us, and I think I put way too much in there. And so you and I both got up and we're like, we're gonna do this thing. Let's take a micro, and it was definitely not a micro. Like we were both like for hours before we went over there, like, oh no, what did we do here?
You're like, Cass, that was a pretty strong bottle. And I was like, I know, Sean.
She's like, you think?
You think?
And like, that was hours into it. I was like, I think the bottle was pretty strong. And you're like, yeah, you think? And like, we finally both broke and we're like admitting like we're out of control right now.
Well, I just get to this place where I surrender. I'm like, of course that bottle was really strong. Like, I'm the one who needs to learn the lesson, not tell you to dose it better. Just like be like, all right, I guess here we go.
Yeah, it was definitely, but it was like, it was almost like our angels working through us to, you know, like to have one of the heavier trips we've had in a while be on the day we were going to Paisley Park. So, but it is trippy because you're like, you're going a half hour like outside of Minneapolis, maybe a little bit more, but like I was picturing like, oh, we're going to be going like into deep like woods, like I see why Prince would build it all the way out here. But it never really registers along the way to me. Like I'm just like, where are we? Like it felt so sterile and corporate. You know, it's beautiful out there. Minnesota's so beautiful. But I was just like, where the fuck are we? And then even though you pull onto the grounds and you're just like, what? I
mean, it all speaks to like, it really does. Like, as much as you could be like, what was he thinking? It all speaks to his brilliance because, I mean, if he cared about all that other stuff that I'm talking about, like, it would be so much more expensive. And I would be so curious to look at his birth chart because I would imagine he's very airy and maybe fiery, but and maybe not so earthy.
Right.
And it like made sense because you go to like, look, if you have a music label or studios in Manhattan, it doesn't have all that. It's like, it's an interior.
It's where work gets done.
And it really felt like, okay, wow, I have the privilege to go see where this brilliant artist aficionado made magic.
Yeah.
And how he did it and what his priorities are and like get to go in his office that's like very close to the main entrance and and see how he had left it, see how he decorated, see where he walked around and what he cared about. And you're just like, wow, this is kind of how you'd have to do it if you were going to make 20,000 hours worth of music in your lifetime.
Yeah. Totally.
And where you play every instrument.
Yeah.
And
well, there's something weirdly unsexy about it. I learned this like way early in my career. I worked with this band this local band that was like had some heat, Jesse Diamond and the 1,000. And I made a music video for them and they were like, "Hey, come film us in the studio. We're going to be in Jimi Hendrix studio. We're going to be in Electric Ladyland." And I was like, whoa, this is about to be crazy. And like, you go there and you're like, all right.
Yeah, it's just a studio. Yeah.
And
you're
then,
inside a building with a studio.
I kind of clocked it then. This is back in my early 20s. Like, this isn't the most inspiring place for me to be rolling cameras. And then I got pulled into it with the making of Johnny's album.
At Jackson Brown Studio.
Jackson Brown Studio. I'm like, awesome. And, it was just a studio that Jackson Brown was hanging around and I got to fucking hang out with and talk to. And I got to chill with him. Like, just like, hi. Just got to chill.
You got him to show you his cologne collection.
Yeah, he loved me. He was like, come here, I want to show you something. And he showed me his collection of colognes. But it was just a studio, And then fucking Kurt Weill hires me to make a documentary about him in the studio. And I'm like, okay. And like, so to me, it's like being in there with cameras it's like, you really got to get used to like, oh, I'm filming paint dry type of feelings. But this place felt different. I don't know. It just felt different. And I knew as soon as we went in there, and I knew like this was us also being very, very high. Like also we baked out the rental car right before we went in there, so we were all blazed.
They're like, you can't smoke on the premises, but you can smoke in your car, and we're like,
yeah, the guy caught me smoking weed just right outside
like
the place.
Like a vape thing.
And this guy comes running over, and he's like, you're not allowed to do that. He's like, you can do whatever you want in your car. So we bake out the car, we go in there. The tour starts as soon as we go in there, and I feel the emotions welling up in the most just whatever part of the place, like just like we were just like in the atrium, and I was just like, whoa, like I was just like, you could feel that this guy spent a lot of time here. This wasn't like Electric Ladyland where Jimi Hendrix did some sessions here. He didn't live here. He didn't design the fucking place. Like he rented sessions here like everybody else.
Yeah.
Like this is a whole different feeling. And, it's like, yeah, that hat's there because that was the last piano he ever played. And after he played, he put on his hat and, proceeded to die, so there's just like, whoa, man, you can feel his spirit in that place. Like, overwhelming. And the way that the tour goes down is super, really draws that out of you in a way. Like, it starts off like really surface level. It's like, oh, look, you can press these buttons and it'll change the colors on this drum. And you're like, okay, what did I sign up for here? And it takes a little further.
I got very excited about seeing his office.
Yes, you were the first one. You were like, let's get in that office.
I was like, it looks a little bit like Pier 1 Imports, I'll be real.
Yeah, there's some stuff that's just like, it's
just so interesting because you feel like you're going inside his brain.
Yes.
And where his priorities are and what he cared about and how much he cared about things. Like, he was decked out in his clothes 24/7. Like, he always wore something fantabulous.
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
He was never wearing something like this.
No, he didn't have like down clothes or whatever. He was dressed like he was in motherfucking Amadeus all the time. He hired the costume designers from Amadeus after he saw that movie to like come up with a look for him.
Which he is. We got a Beethoven in our lifetime. That's how I feel.
Yeah, we got our own Mozart.
Yeah, and he doesn't get his due. Somehow he's still underrated.
Oh, so maybe more underrated than anyone.
I left that experience being like, because we have this conversation between ourselves all the time, like, all right, 100, 200 years from now, 500 years from now, like, what musicians from our day are people still going to be talking about or thinking of or is going to be in the zeitgeist in some capacity? And I think we've always said, oh, maybe it's Bob Dylan. And I was like, no way, it's going to be Prince.
Yeah.
And
it is going to be Prince.
One, because he had the foresight to be like, this place will be a museum when I die.
Yeah.
So he cemented his legacy there. His instrumentality, how do you say
his
it?
Musicianship
is off the charts.
Yeah.
On every instrument, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to play guitar and piano that proficiently.
Yeah.
Is insane.
Proficiently. He was the best. He's the best shredder that there's ever been.
Yeah. And so it was can I skip ahead to the part where, is it skipping ahead?
No, we're flowing now.
Okay. Well, there's a part, so we have our favorite Prince performance, which is of course him performing at George Harrison's, what was that?
Well, it was I think the 2004 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction. Him and George Harrison were both inducted at the same time, and George had died like months before.
The first year that they were, at least Prince was eligible. He was inducted.
Oh, of course.
Of course. And so they're doing a tribute to George Harrison with My Guitar Gently Weeps, and it's Jeff Lynne, Tom Petty, his son Danny Harrison,
Steve
Winwood, and they were going to have Eric Clapton, but he got sick or something.
Yeah.
Couldn't make it. So Prince filled in. And Prince is on the heels of Rolling Stone releasing the 100 top guitarists. And of course, Prince is not on that list somehow because he's not recognized for his guitar playing. I mean, he's getting inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Rolling Stone is not acknowledging
he's the top shredder.
That he's the top shredder.
He's not even... He's not on the list.
He's not on the list.
And he was apparently very keenly aware of that.
Of course.
So when they asked him to fill in for Eric Clapton, no one knew what he was going to do.
They hadn't rehearsed.
No. Yeah.
And he does the best guitar solo of all time.
Yeah.
One that'll bring you to tears. If you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube. You got to watch it.
It's so rad. In the tour, they're like, they tell us all that. They tell us that as the story. And they're like, why don't we take a look? And they have a big screen and they just play it on the biggest speakers.
The
and
full
you're just
performance.
Full on, just like, here it is, you know? Like, that's such a nice thing about that tour.
And I would watch that. I would just spend the rest of my life just watching that performance on repeat.
That's basically what my dad does.
I know. Every time he wants to listen to anything, he's like, Sean, you think you
think you could pull that up again? It's his favorite thing I've ever seen, because a few years ago he was saying, well, who do you think is the greatest guitar player of all time? I said, it's Prince Rogers Nelson. No question about it. And he's like, really? I didn't even think of Prince as a guitar player. And I played that for him.
And now
he was
that's
like,
all he wants to watch.
What the fuck?
He's always like, you think you could pull that up for me?
Another one is his Super Bowl performance.
Yeah.
His halftime show. His Super Bowl.
It's best halftime show there's ever been.
Hands down. Nothing even compares. But, yeah, it's like you know, the tour like has these swells where you're like we went in there already putting Prince in another category than any other artist.
I'm also very new to my love of Prince, which is so interesting.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have a lot of respect for him. It's not really like the type of music that I appreciate or go towards or whatever. Like I'm like, yeah, these are some good songs, whatever. But like recently it was through Erotic City.
Yeah, the song Erotic City really got you.
Got
it cracked
me.
the code.
It cracked the code because I could feel how he influenced Ween, which is like my favorite band ever.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
oh.
Anyone that loves Ween, you're going to love Prince.
Yeah, it took me a second.
Yeah, once you hear it though, it's like, oh my
And even
God.
to the point where I'm like, I didn't love O'Teal as much because I'm like, he has that Prince guitar and I'm like, I don't really get it. Yeah, cool.
O'Teal from Dead and Company playing the Prince bass exclusively.
And then all of a sudden I was like, oh.
You're like, all of a sudden O'Teal, you're like, oh, another. You get it. You know?
And now it allowed me to get him more.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're still at the beginning.
Yeah.
Of like diving into all that Prince has to offer.
Yeah.
And we will probably be for the rest of our lives. But it was a kind of cool place, like where I'm like, okay, I really appreciate this guy. I have a lot of respect, but now I know my respect is only here to grow.
Yeah.
And so to have these things where you kind of get a little backstory of him, you get to see what he's doing, you get to see where he worked, you get to see how he thinks, you get to hear when doves cry and hear like different elements of it and different elements pulled back.
Yeah.
And then being told that that he had finished When Doves Cry, and
oh yeah,
and he was like, I think it's a little too busy.
It's too busy.
So he dropped the bass.
He took off the bass track,
which is like unheard of.
And it went to number one.
And it
was the first ever number one that didn't have a bass track on it.
And what you find out is like Prince took a drum machine and took it apart and added his own sounds to it.
He soldered things into a drum machine.
Yeah.
And came up with his signature sound.
Yeah, so you're like, this guy.
He
like,
is.
You know he's brilliant, but like he's really
He's
brilliant.
like the sickest engineer that's ever been in a studio, the sickest producer that's ever been in a studio, the sickest session musician.
And he can literally do an entire album like
he does
by
it all
himself.
on his own, and he literally is like, everyone get the fuck away from me. And when he's doing it, time doesn't exist. He will just go until he can't go anymore. You know, he says that's the way to do it with creative inspiration. When you have it, go for it, take it all the way. And so he would just look at his discography. And that's the tip. His discography is tip of the iceberg. So, you know, like, not only is he the best, like, in all those studio capacities as a performer, he's the best. He's Michael Jackson, Jimi Hendrix, James Brown, and, like, George Clinton, like, in one person. It's insane. And I could see by him being such a powerful, impactful performer, how his guitar playing doesn't get the recognition it should.
Oh, he's got Eddie Hazel in there too.
He's got some Eddie Hazel, and he's got some Eddie Van Halen. Like he's like really. I mean, we already went in there knowing he was the best ever, but during this, you're like, the levels to it will boggle your mind. And then, you know, we're going along and it's just like, wow, these swells of emotion. And then we both kind of caught the baptism of tears at the same time, because you turn around and you kind of like look through this glass, and it's like the voice recording area. And there's like handwritten lyrics to something on there. And the tour guide said this was a song he was in the middle of making that he never finished. And he died. And we looked at you and I started studying it, and it's a song called Stay Cool. And it made us both cry instantly. I don't know. I don't know why you started crying. I started crying because I was like, he didn't want to die. it just was just like, oh, we're missing out on so much. He didn't want to die at all. Like, he had so much more to give. Like, he was 57.
I started crying because I was like, I'm never gonna hear this song, and I feel like the song is like would be our song.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
know.
I was reading the
know.
lyrics and I was like, oh
This is us. You
yeah,
know?
I just like related so hard to what he was putting out there, and just like, oh, that we're not gonna get to hear this. I was
Yeah.
like, it felt like such a tragedy.
Yeah. Stay Cool feels like such a
I think
eerie sign off and perfect kind of like, it feels like a goodbye.
Yeah.
Stay cool.
You can find those lyrics online, by the way.
Yeah, somebody smuggled them out of there.
There's a picture of it. I'll post it in our Discord
Yeah.
if you want to join that. Patreon.com/Church of Chill.
That's our Paisley Park.
Our digital Paisley Park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please join our digital Paisley Park. It really helps us emotionally stay afloat. Eventually, hopefully, it'll help us financially stay afloat.
It's just a cool place to connect with people and share all this inspiration. But
Yeah.
that knocked me for a
That
loop.
really got us both, and we both left that room like I was wearing sunglasses the whole time, of course, and I had the tears coming down, and I was like, whoa, this is like, the reverence really just got amped up.
But then you just like I don't know if you get this on the extreme VIP, but then they like point to a room and they're like, oh, that's all his wardrobe, and I'm like, I have to go to that room.
Yeah, I know.
How are we not getting into that room?
I know, it's crazy. And like, it's so funny because I kind of changed my opinion about something that I might have talked about on the podcast. I was saying that there's this guy, the guy that made The Last Dance, the Michael Jordan documentary, the 10-part Michael Jordan one.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Which
great.
is great.
It's one of the best documentary things I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
He made a 9-hour Prince documentary that that has been blocked by the estate for kind of just digging around in realms Prince didn't want dug around.
Well,
and
he was very committed to maintaining a mystery around him.
Yeah, there's a mystique around him for a reason.
And he likes it, and he
carefully guarded.
Yeah, and so the estate was like, finding out how he slapped a bitch or whatever it is that this says in this movie is like,
yeah, exactly.
Besides the point.
Yeah, it really is. So like the estate was kind of like, thanks but no thanks, and they blocked it from coming out. And it really broke my heart because I'm such a nerd in general that of course I want to know everything I can about this artist, you know. But after being there, I'm kind of like, yeah, I get it. I get why he protected it. I get why they're protecting it. This should be protected. This music speaks for itself. The performances speak for themselves. The vibe, the everything. The public persona, the outfits, it's all there.
Yeah.
And this director going around bitching and moaning, saying, I spent 5 years on this project and I can't believe I tried so hard and now no one's going to get to see it, is like, I'm kind of like, you sound like a little bitch. Because Prince would have called you a little bitch. He would have said, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck you think you are, motherfucker? I think.
I don't know if he would have cursed. I don't know.
Are you kidding me? You don't think he would have cursed?
I don't know. I'm learning about him.
Oh, baby girl.
Yeah, he would have cursed.
You can learn about him by listen to the word pee control, short for pussy control.
He said but towards the end he stopped playing as much of his more rowdy sex songs.
Well, he became a Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah, so maybe he wouldn't have said "fuck you."
Maybe he toned that stuff down. Yeah, I don't know.
That's what we kind of still have to get
into.
But
I'm basically like I switched my opinion a lot.
As a documentarian, you relate to the guy who like can't. They're like, that's heartbreaking. I'd be heartbroken.
Yeah, I know the heartbreaking feeling. I get that.
But then there's the part of you as an artist.
Yeah, the documentarian in me really related with this guy and was like, damn, I really felt for him. When I zoom out and just think of myself more as an artist, kind of like Prince and wanting to be more like that, dude, stop being a bitch. You made something that dug it took it too far. We ain't trying to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Those of us that want to get into this purely through the music and the artistry, and who are interested in those kind of things, and how the Mozart of our age functioned. you know, like how they got work done, what was driving this stuff, you know. I don't really care about his relationships.
Yeah, we all have fucked relationships. Like, it's hard not to get through this life. If you get through this life without saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing or being the wrong person at the wrong, like, you didn't live it. You didn't have human emotions and get caught up in the moment. And that's why it's like important to forgive people and forgive yourself, and also like strive to do better, but also realize we're not perfect people. We're like very human.
Yeah.
But what do we pay attention to? The fact that, do we judge people on the way that they maybe docked someone's pay for like what they needed to do to keep people?
Oh, you're talking about James Brown?
Well, I think he
finding his musicians as they fucked up.
I think Prince did shit like that though too. I think he was like very serious, and I think it might not be pretty, but some of these serious people, we would not like how they got shit done because it might not be always the nicest thing. They might not have been always the nicest.
And look, in Prince's case in particular, we don't really know.
Yeah, no, I don't.
But we're finding out more. But I think a lot of his work got done alone, and I think when he worked with other people, yeah.
I feel kind of compelled to read some of the lyrics from "Stay Cool." Could I look it up?
Yeah, sure.
I think it would. I looked it up very recently, and I took a screenshot.
It's so, you know, I take it personally.
Ain't no reason to get uptight when everybody else is feeling a groove. All right. Stay cool, baby. Don't be no tool. Don't worry about what's happening with the candy girl. You're the only one that matters in my world. All right. Stay cool, baby. Oh my God, this kind of reminds me of like, You're My Woman.
Make yourself easy.
Make yourself easy. Stay cool. You're so beautiful. You must be, 'cause I let you break all of my rules. I let your top off in my swimming pool. All right. Don't fight. Let's don't fight. Don't you want to make sweet love all through the night and wake up with a smile, a million miles, sunshine so bright. All right. Stay cool, baby. Stay cool. Stay baby. Isn't that great? Oh
my God. I wish we could hear it.
I know. Maybe he recorded a little bit of it. And then there was a line that I liked from the end of this book, part of this book. Basically, he was starting to write a memoir 3 months before he died, and he wrote like 10 pages for it. But then, you know, the guy who was writing with him
finished it off, or did his best.
Did his best, yeah. So, but one of the things that he said to the guy who he hired to help him do this book, he said, "Try to create. I want to tell people to create. Just start by creating your day, then create your life." And it just feels like a lot of his music, now that I'm listening to it, is like not only a message to himself, but to other people.
Yeah.
You know, dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to celebrate this crazy thing we called life. I hope I said that exactly right.
You nailed it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like a beautiful sentiment. He was putting beauty into this world. He wanted people to appreciate art, be art, create, and for artists he really led the way on, because he was so screwed by the industry.
Yeah.
He made it so people now own the right to their masters, because he was at the forefront of getting screwed and being like, this isn't right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How could someone else own my song?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, totally. And he went about doing something that now is like kind of the industry standard, which is like cut out the middleman.
Yeah. And the ways that you find out he cut out that by doing, we're telling you all about Paisley Park because we went to Minnesota, and most people in Minneapolis haven't been to Paisley Park. Even
they're like, oh, was that cool? I'm like, are you kidding? Do you know what your guys are sitting on right here?
Yeah, no.
This motherfucker's from here.
No, at the wedding, we were like, have you been to Paisley Park? They're like, no, I got to go one day. And I'm like, you got to go tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you know, what you find from what he did is that he built a freaking soundstage that movies like Two Grumpy Old Men or whatever like used. You know, he was
so forward thinking. I mean, he got his first payday was in the wake of Purple Rain. He made a lot of money.
In 84.
Yeah, well, Purple Rain, 84. So he started building Paisley Park in 86, and it came to fruition in 87. So it has 3 studios in there that we saw. a motherfucking sound stage. I don't think people can fathom how big a sound stage is.
And what's
if they've never been
required
on
to
one.
make that place quiet with a huge high ceiling and
Yeah.
just the door was like 100 feet high.
Full stage production setup in there. I think he filmed Sign of the Times concert film in there, which we love.
Well, and he also has that, even not on the soundstage, there's a stage room.
Yeah, no, then you go through the sound stage and there's another giant stage room where there's like a band set up and there's a cafe, and like members of the public used to be able to just freely wander in there. The doors to Paisley Park were open, and like Prince would be like, come out at 3 a.m. with Madonna and get up on stage and start performing, and there'd be 20 people in there who just heard a rumor that Madonna's in town and said, maybe we'll hang around Paisley Park tonight and see what happens. You know? Like, stuff of legend. This guy just operated as a complete alien and just fucking did his thing. He didn't care what the people before him had done. He just did his thing. And it's so unique and original. And I think it's why it took me so long to get down with the music, because it really sounds like its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Ween kind of sounds like it, but it's really its own universe.
But don't you love his message, and don't you relate so strongly? Like, create your day.
Yeah.
And that, like, start with creating your day. That, like,
Oh, I've preached this
I know
message.
you have. I know you have, because I've been on the receiving end of this.
Yeah.
Is that, like, let's create a good day, and that's like the building block of creating a good life.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's how you stay cool. And it's another great song that they played in full. Like, man, the estate's sitting on all this. Oh my God, the estate is sitting on all the. He recorded every concert he ever did, every rehearsal, every sound check, has all been recorded, video and
I'm
audio.
pretty sure he like had his bedroom was always recording. So if he like had an idea, like in the shower and sang it,
the whole place was mic'd up, so he could be singing anywhere and it would
who
be
even
captured.
has the time to go back and watch and listen to all that?
He knows when he had a good idea, and he just tells an assistant, like, "Hey, grab that." But they played they like nice and loud. You go into one of the edit bays where they would edit video footage, and they show you this thing that's never been released from a 1996 concert tour, the Gold Experience, from the Gold Experience album, the song Gold. Holy shit. Cue that one up. Damn. He was the best. He's saying, even in the middle of fire, there is cold. And all that glitters ain't gold.
Yeah. He knew what was up.
He was the fucking best. He was the best. He was so inspiring.
And he's talk about being ahead of the time with like identifying with both genders and navigating that identity and not feeling rigid about it, and welcoming the world into the option of like you could be fluid with your gender. You don't have to be in certain gender roles. You could you could even have the symbol that identifies you be a combination of the male and female gender sex symbols, you know?
Yeah. Like, really just way ahead of his time. He was one of the first, I think the first artist to set up a website and cut out the middleman and say, buy merchandise and records directly from me. Here's how to do it.
He was very entrepreneurial.
Yeah. Like, just anything he put his mind to, he was brilliant at.
Well, I left being like, I know it's pricey, but just think of it as a college course in 3 hours or 2 hours.
Yeah, it's a semester's worth of study.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, you are good at something, you like something, like take it all the way.
Take it all the way.
He took it all the way.
Yes. If you know your path in life, artistically especially, take it all the way. No one's going to do that for you. Go for it. Push all your chips in. Go for it.
I mean, his work ethic is insane. Like, if he was feeling in a creative flow, he knew how precious that space was, and he would just keep doing it.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's like it's beyond a semester's worth.
He might have had a little help. I don't know what his drug use was.
It's beyond college type of stuff, because you're in the place where it was happening, so you're getting energetic downloads about the whole thing and how it worked and how it felt, how it feels to be there. you know? And like, this is where the work got done. That's what kept swelling me up with emotions. And like, you know, he kept it open to the public, that anybody could just fucking wander in there. You know, I'm sure he had his security like when he was in the booth or whatever, but like that people would just wander in. An impromptu dance party, fuck it, you know.
No, he wanted to share the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the joy.
And the joy.
You know, like he was.
What a loss. Like, it's interesting. I feel like I'm sure a lot of people felt the loss immensely and have been Prince fans, but there are so many people that I do not appreciate Prince that are going to have this reckoning with his death, like we're having right now.
Oh, I've thought about this a lot, actually, having to do with Jerry Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it's like you know, you mourn his death when it happens, but I was like some 15-year-old kid, you know, who didn't give a fuck about anything, you know. But so you kind of like mourn with the rest of the culture, like, oh yeah, heavy hearts, whatever. Then you mourn it again when you get into the Grateful Dead.
Mm-hmm.
But like the more you get into it, the more you're kind of going through this grieving process.
Well, especially when you know there are people like Bowie and Cohen who did it like, wait, like their last albums are their best albums.
And
you're like, I want that last album.
Yeah, totally. And I feel like with those guys, because their last albums were such swan song, like they knew they were going out and here's my last thing for the world. And I was such a fan when they died. I feel like I grieved with everybody else. We all did the collective mourning. And, you know, sometimes when a song comes up or whatever, but mainly I'm not going through those sad feelings. Like because I'm becoming such a huge Prince fan, I'm so sad. It's so sad. It's like really, really, really upsetting. Like he died yesterday in my life.
Well, if this helps you at all, I was reading in the book, and one of the things that he had expressed before his death was that he was ready.
Mm.
He did express a readiness to go, a feeling of like having said what he wanted to say.
Mm.
You know, so that it's not. I think, like, as a soul passing on,
yeah,
I believe he passed on peacefully, energetically, like as he was I believe that there's like this transition, this bardo you go through, and I believe from what I've been reading that he was ready.
Yeah, I feel the same about Jerry Garcia in a way too, and they were both taken like tragically young, and like how fun would it be to have Prince around still?
Yeah. And Jerry Garcia.
Are you kidding me? You know? But they come here and they do their work, and it's a very mysterious thing. Why they leave us so early, you know? And the Prince died of an accidental fentanyl overdose. Are you fucking kidding me? Whoa. Like, it's so sad. It's so sad. Like, he didn't want to die. He might have been ready. That's a whole different thing. But I think he wanted to stay cool.
Yeah, if he found out that was a lethal dose, he wouldn't have taken it.
Yeah, and it's kind of, that made me so sad thinking about that, you know? And, like, fuck, you know? And some people survive and some people don't.
You gotta get into crack instead.
Yeah. Well, that was the other thing that we did on this trip. We watched the Charlie Sheen documentary. And I don't know, maybe it's just because of just being around all this Prince energy and everything, and watching the Charlie Sheen thing. It feels like there's some sort of there's a
through line.
There's a through line, because like I wouldn't be surprised if those guys spent a lot of time in the same place at the same time, just given being both like mega celebrities in the 80s, and it's such a time of excess and cocaine. And I'm like, I don't know what Prince's deal with coke was. I'm sure there's information out there about it, but I don't know, maybe not. I'm assuming it was on the scene, but Charlie Sheen doesn't hold back.
What a gift that he just kind of takes you through it.
Charlie Sheen?
Yeah.
Well, I think the through line is he took it all the way.
Yeah.
He knew that partying was his gift.
Well, it felt like what I was saying to you when we were watching the Charlie Sheen documentary. I'm like, maybe dramatically, but like, You have a little bit of a Sheen in you and a little bit of Prince. They're like almost the two angels on your shoulder.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
there's the one that's like create, stay focused, do art, and the other one that's like get high, have fun, girls,
Drink Pepsi. Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's the party boy, and
Yeah.
I forget what I called to Prince. But like it's like kind of these two, and we're trying to find like a balance between the two.
Oh, classic like enabler addict behavior. Like, yeah.
But there's something beautiful, and I think the reason, because a lot of the Charlie Sheen documentary, which is available and on Netflix if you want to check it out, shows is that so many people lived vicariously through Charlie Sheen in a way that helped him not get clean, because people were cheering on his like erratic and insane behavior, because
Yeah.
and I think it spoke to kind of how we end up in this circumstance with a president who's like
On Adderall.
an insane person
Yeah.
and a mean-spirited person,
Yeah.
because we all have a little bit of meanness in us
Yeah.
that we don't say. So we see someone so unapologetically mean and we go, "Yes, you're doing it.
Yeah.
Say all the mean things because
Yeah.
I won't and I can," or whatever. Or, "I want to have the permission slip to do that." I don't know the psychology fully, but it feels like that's part of it, you know?
Yeah.
But it's the whole thing, especially around Prince, to bring it back to Prince, is it just reinforces to me how music can save the world.
Mm-hmm.
And a love of music and an appreciation for music, if that's like kind of your guiding light, to me, I'm like, okay, if I love music, I want everyone to love music, and I want everyone to listen to music, and I want everyone to have the time and space to enjoy music, and I want to have clean water and clean air and a clean earth so that we can play music and enjoy music. Like, it just, you can just say like, okay, if it's about music, it could inspire.
It's why we say it's the sacrament of Church of Chill.
It inspires environmentalism.
Yeah.
Equity among people.
A dissembling of capitalism, because it's taking the princes away from us.
Exactly.
I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, why aren't these guys bubbling up left and right? Well, people don't have the fucking time.
And they're not, I mean, Prince's came from a family of musicians, but if we weren't stripping music and art from schools, there are people who could learn this stuff younger and explore these realms that we would all benefit from. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's why it's not something we take lightly. We've devoted our life to it, to exploration of music, to supporting artists, to going to see live music, to, making a church around it.
I've met people, we met someone.
Because it can bring peace on earth.
Yeah, and the first time I really understood it was when we went to Oceana, which is nicknamed Oxyana, the film we made, where it's a town in West Virginia that's totally overrun with Oxycontin addiction. But one of the guys there that became a quick friend of ours, he's like, "Oh, I didn't get into that because I had music, and music saved my life."
Yeah, and he was a sick drummer.
It was a sick drummer.
And it helped him avoid what was happening to every person around him, including family. He avoided it, and because he's exactly the way we are about music, completely immersed in it. It's his total passion. He's not only is obsessed in the way we are, but now he plays it, and it kept his nose clean. And there's a lot of other people that are really great examples of that, and I think it really. It serves to be the thing that can save humanity, because it transcends everything. Music, it's like it's an international language. Everybody understands it.
And if you really listen to the music and it's so loving.
Yeah.
The messages that resonate are, for the most part, very loving messages.
Well, even the ones that aren't quote unquote loving are still
break stuff.
Yeah, but it's still, like that helped give people an outlet.
Yeah.
Like I thought that shit was lame, but who am I? I'm going to hardcore shows at the same time. It was just like I'm to me, a more refined version of that. But yeah, we needed an outlet for our rage. Like, young men need punk music and hardcore. Like,
Well, you see how much energy young boys having spent some time with some young boys.
yeah,
You're like,
they need a mosh pit.
they need a mosh pit, they need karate, whatever it is.
Yeah.
They need to like.
They need healthy outlets for this stuff and artistic outlets for this stuff. And, you know, music provides that. Music provides a scene. You know, it brings people together. We went to Grateful Dead night on Sunday in Minneapolis.
Which we just tip. You're in a new city. Just type in Grateful Dead night. You're that city.
Just find those are your
find
people.
the scene.
We went there and we didn't have to say a word. We just sat there and everyone introduced themselves to us and told us wild stories, and we just had the best, most connected night ever because there's a scene and you feel like you feel seen if you're part of a scene because you have this thing in common. We don't have to talk about it. I don't need to sit here quoting Grateful Dead lyrics to you. I know you know them like scripture, and so do I. And we've lived our life around these things, and we've all done the work pursuing seeing this live, and we all showed up here. We have something in common. We don't even need to talk about it. Let's just laugh and have a smoke together, smoking and joking. You know, it is like it's our life force, and it's the thing that pulls me between the Prince and Charlie Sheen inside my heart, because like I'm good at being both those motherfuckers. But being Prince all the time really, it's very intense. So then you retreat into Charlie Sheen territory, and being that all the time is very intense and taxing in another kind of way. But both are like a lot of fun.
It's cool that we have these archetypes, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And of the two, the fact that Charlie Sheen is the one that's alive of these two is like, what? What the heck is going on? You know? Crazy. But we could get more into all of that stuff. You want to do an Afterglow episode for the Patreon?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, all these episodes that you hear on YouTube have a part 2 where we get a little bit more personal and weird.
Yeah, usually we're warmed up. We warm ourselves up in the public platform.
It's so funny. Those are usually the better episodes. So we do part 2 on patreon.com/churchofchill, where you can also access our Discord. And that's where everyone talks about all this stuff.
You're coming up on 250 music mixes, which is an insane accomplishment. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Like, you've really stayed committed. I don't know. And when you started just doing them at an hour and 43 minutes, I'm like, Sean, you're blowing your load. Are you insane? Like, to keep up an hour and 43 minute episode, like
every week.
I think it's a really cool accomplishment because they're really well curated.
Thank you.
I appreciate them greatly.
I feel like I did it for us.
Well, I'm very grateful.
And other people get to benefit from them if they share a similar taste in music. But I'm covering a lot of bases these days.
This next week we are doing also a film club, Lost Highway, David Lynch.
Yeah, we're starting to get into spooky territory, and so we're doing the classic David Lynch, I think 1994 noir, Lost Highway,
which I've never seen, so I'm actually really excited.
Oh my God, it's gonna be so fun. We're about to be maybe watching that twice this week, because it's one of those. And so we'll be talking. We do a film club every Monday, which you also access through Patreon. Film clubs on Monday. We do a different film every week. Church of Chill mixes.
We're gonna have some cool T-shirts coming up.
The Discord, we have new shirts about to drop
in the next month. I probably.
Yeah, and like you get discounts and first access when you're part of our community. So we really appreciate you joining up. It's only $2 a month, but you can give us whatever you want. And also, watch Wild Magic. Tell someone about Wild Magic. WildMagic.tv. We're, like I said last week, we're headed into like phase 2. We're trying to get this out to a broader audience. Try to get me and Cass on a podcast if you have a podcast or if you know of one. If you're a fan of a podcast that we'd be good guests for. It's much more effective actually for fans to reach out to podcasters and tip them off. Tell someone about us. Have us on their podcast. We got to hype Wild Magic. We really want to pay back our investors because they're really cool, and I think we could get them to invest in another thing if we get them paid back. And it'd be so cool to show them and the world of indie films that indie documentaries like what we make are still relevant. So help us be a part of that, wildmagic.tv. And we'll see you on the other side.
Thanks for joining.
Peace, love, and magic.